Out there. I know no one's there yet. I'm out on the streets here in Shenzhen tonight. And it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. 3:01 or 3:02 to be exact. Sunday. Sunday late night or Monday early morning. You decide. Make sure I didn't leave anything there. I'm going to try to find us a decent place I can set you down. Have a little interaction. Somebody suggested in my last live video that I do a little interaction. And I find that difficult to do while I'm walking. I got to kind of pay attention to, I got to pay attention to where I'm stepping. So, Sunday night, Monday morning, you can see that Shenzhen is alive and well. People partying. Lots of people partying. I don't know if you can see over there. Can I zoom this thing? Yes, I can. Okay, so there's a restaurant over there. One beside it, a yellow chair restaurant. Another yellow chair over here with some people partying. And we got plenty of people on this side of the street. As you can hear, these guys are kind of being quiet. So if and when somebody stops in, hold your questions for a few minutes until I can find a place to set this thing down and I can interact with you. This looks like a happening place here. Kind of a decent background as far as I can tell. I'm not sure if they're going to want me to buy something to sit here. Got myself a lemon tea. I was going to have a milk tea. I decided on lemon tea because it's early in the morning and I'd like to keep my voice. So I'm getting all phlegmed up. So yeah, I don't know if they might ask me to buy something here. I'm not sure. If I sit down. Let me try to grab a seat over here. I think they probably won't bother with me. But let's see. So is there anybody in here? I don't think so. I'm new to this whole streaming thing. Hang on, I gotta even see where I can check to see if anybody's in here. Oh, it says 2 people are in here. Okay, I've set the camera down now, so I could potentially interact with you if you have any questions, you want to ask me something. I'm on the streets of Shenzhen. Good morning, Joe. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, probably 3:05 maybe by now. 5 minutes after 3 in the morning. So I guess you'd call that Monday. So what must have this place been like on Friday night or Saturday night? It must have been packed. As you can see tonight, it's pretty busy. Saturday afternoon. Where are you? Saturday afternoon, I'm guessing. How can it be Saturday afternoon? It's Monday morning, isn't it? Check my other phone here. Sunday. Oh, sorry. I'm ahead of day. Yesterday was Saturday. Today is Sunday. This is Sunday morning, not Monday morning. Goofed that up, didn't I? But it's Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Cool. So you'll have to forgive me. I'm kind of new to this whole live streaming thing. I'm not sure how do people do that? Do they have the list of comments? Are they using two devices to do that? If anybody knows, there's only two people in here, but I don't know if that includes me. I'm probably third, number three. But yeah, somebody suggested that I do some interaction, do a little more interaction when I do a live. So that's what I'm doing here, attempting to do. Hopefully in a little bit, more people will show up. And we can chat with somebody. And I'll correct myself one more time. It's Sunday morning, Saturday night. Sunday morning at 3. Sunday morning at 3:08. Oh, I'm watching this because it's you. I don't usually watch this. Oh, that's so nice, Joe. That's cool. Was it you that suggested I do some interaction? Sorry, I'm not putting myself on the camera here. It is like 10 minutes after 3 in the morning. I haven't had a chance to primp my hair yet. I'm all sweaty. I walked about an hour to get here. Thought I'd try to find a decent area. But yeah, to do interaction, I actually have to set the camera down. I can't walk, especially like at 3 o'clock in the morning when it's dark. I think it'd be kind of silly for me to try and walk and talk or read comments. So this is an opportunity here to have a little chat if anybody wants to ask a question. In the meantime, I can tell you about one topic that I think you might find interesting. Videos that I hate. I hate most shorts. And the reason, on YouTube, the reason is that you can't see the date. I mean, a lot of videos are actually, they're time sensitive. So you see some video on YouTube, a short, and it doesn't show you when the video is posted. So you don't get that. I don't know about TikTok in the West, but here in China, on Douyin, China in 6 years. What is the cost of living there to live comfortably? Actually, if you don't want to own a home and you just rent, it's dirt cheap here. You can live really, really cheap. These people here are probably drinking beers that are, I'm guessing, maybe 50 cents each. This guy's bringing out a big plate of, looks like melon. You know, that's probably, I'm talking US dollars here. That big plate of melon there is probably, $3 or $4, I'm guessing. Everything's really, really cheap here. Unless you want to buy a home. If you want to buy a home, that's going to cost you a lot. You can rent a home for next to nothing. Fully furnished. So it's very cheap to live here. And that's even in Shenzhen. If you go to a second tier, I don't know if they have third tier cities, but if you go to a place that's, remote, it really will be next to nothing you'll be paying for your rent. It'll be really, really cheap. Oh, that's really good. If he already has a home, you guys got no problems then. The payments on stuff are also very, very cheap. I have to say, I don't know. I have a pretty small apartment, so I can't really use it for comparison. I don't have a home. I do potentially have a home in the north, the one that I've paid for, but my significant other's parents are living there right now. And it's not a really big home either, but it's bigger than where I'm living here in Shenzhen. Shenzhen, the housing, if you want to buy, is very, very expensive. But you can get a pretty. I had a 2-bedroom with 2 rooms, nice kitchen, balcony, and a great big living room. That was about 1,200 RMB per month. 1,200 RMB would be about $175, $180, I'm guessing. So So it's pretty darn cheap. So, yeah, I thought you might find this a little bit interesting that even at, 3:15 in the morning, people are out and rowdy. Although, again, this is Saturday night, so maybe it's not that unusual. Excuse me. The time is maybe unusual for some places. I know in Florida, they could keep the bars open all night. I lived in Florida for a little while on Miami Lakes, the Miami area. A little bit of a rough area. I remember the Burger King in Miami Lakes. They had a bulletproof glass at the drive-thru. But yeah, I was talking about videos that I absolutely hate. I don't hate all shorts on YouTube, but I hate most of them. And again, the main reason is that I can't tell when they were posted, so you don't have any idea when the video was posted. And I think that sucks. I think YouTube should try to fix that. I don't know if you can hear me over the noise here. I'm trying to speak a little loudly to make sure that you can hear me. But yeah, that's one type of video that I hate. I hate videos that are, they have an important topic. The title, you see the title, you want to click on it. These are normal videos, over a minute, and they have a decent topic, something you're interested in, and then you click on it, and it's actually a voice, an electronic voice, and they run a bunch of pictures in the background that often aren't, well, they might be related to the story, but they're definitely not, right about that actual story. I hate those kind of videos. Although there's a lot of those channels that are doing pretty well, definitely much better than my channel. I don't know if you know what kind of videos I'm talking about there. The ones with the electronic voice and just running a bunch of pictures in the background. The next one that I hate probably even more is those channels that, okay, I'll explain one to you that I saw just the other day. It said that it was, live Trump speaking somewhere, and I needed to get some sleep, so I thought, okay, I'll put this Trump speaking thing on and listen to it until I fall asleep. And then I wake up and the same thing's playing again. So what it is, it's a loop. It's not a live, it's a loop. And I hate those kind of channels. It's just annoying. It's maybe like a 15-minute video or something, and then they just loop it. So anyway, we got apparently 3 in here in the chat. I don't know if I can call it a chat. I don't know how they have, some people have the chat on the side of the screen, and then they can scroll through those and read them. I don't know how you get that. I have to learn more about this live streaming thing. Plus, I have to extra appreciate anybody that's popped in here. All 3 of you. Because I'm doing these kind of random. I just go out, I'm out on the street, I happen to bring the gimbal and I use a green screen sometimes on my 86 Lawai channel. And I only do that if I want to show something that's related to the topic. Like I'm thinking about doing one soon about the fact that in China you have the freedom to never be pulled over. And I would run some high-speed chases in the background on a green screen to show the comparison. I have 2 brothers in Canada that are police officers. And they tell me when they took training, one of the things that was stressed to them is that when they when they talk to any person in their duty as a police officer, it's pretty likely that person's worst day in their life. And I hadn't thought about that before, but I think that's probably true. When the police are interacting with somebody, it's likely the worst day of their life, or one of them. So what happens in the U.S., often, if you watch these high-speed chases, they're often initiated by somebody getting pulled over for a minor infraction. Not coming to a full stop, at a red light, and the bad guys should be caught. So I guess the high-speed chase is warranted, but to some extent, the police, I think, enjoy those high-speed chases. I think they all still have the gas-operated vehicles, so when they pump the gas, it's like whoa, whoa. I think they kind of get off on that. Maybe I would too if I was a cop. And you get to go at any speed you want. You can run red lights, but see, that's the thing. Not only will they run red lights, but the person they're chasing will often run red lights as well. And that's so dangerous. So dangerous to the public. From time to time, they'll be chasing somebody that actually shoots out of their vehicle, and then they'll shoot back at them. So, you have the freedom from that. You don't get pulled over here. Nobody gets pulled over in China. They don't pull people over. They don't pull cars over. It's not their job. That's the job of the cameras. Cameras are basically up there and take care of all the traffic. Now, if you have a fender bender or any type of an accident, you're probably going to come into contact with the police. Even for small scratches, people don't let it go, or they let it go. You pull over, let's say you caused it. The person that you scratched their vehicle, they'll let it go, but at the same time, you have to pay them more than what it's worth. I've seen it time and time again. They'll try to gouge you. And if they can't gouge you, they're going to call the cops. And the cops show up. They're all the guys on the motorcycles. And they'll stop and basically take, the argument about who's irresponsible. And if you can't come to some kind of an agreement, they'll tow the vehicles until you can come to an agreement. But that's the interaction you're going to have. Like people say about drinking and driving, right? You can probably get away with it because you never get pulled over here. But the thing is, if you have one of those fender benders and you had even one drink, like it's very, very strict here. If you had even one drink and they can either smell it on your breath or use a breath detector and check and find out that you've been drinking, you're probably going to go to jail. So it's not worth it. I don't think many people here drink and drive because it is so strict. I think it's the entire country that if you get caught drinking and driving, you go to jail. Whereas in the U.S., I think there are certain states that are mandatory jail time for drinking and driving, but for the most part, it's let go, or it's definitely decided by the state, and some states are quite lenient. So yeah, I used to live I lived in Miami Lakes, Florida. I lived on Long Island, New York, and I lived in Eaton, Ohio. All for a substantial amount of time, and so I know a little bit about the U.S. Although I am Canadian, if anyone is wanting to ask. We got 3 people in here, but Joe's the only one that's had any interaction so far. Everyone's welcome to join in. You might see the title of the video called Interaction, because that's what this is. I'm trying to do a live with some interaction instead of just me talking. So, saw a video last night. No, I don't teach in China. Basically, I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer, and I was working in the die casting industry for about 12 years here. And currently I am retired or semi-retired, looking for something else to do, some type of a business, and maybe I'll start doing something here shortly. But right now I'm still taking a break from all the filthy work in die casting. It's a dirty job. So, yeah, last night I was watching a video. I'm not going to say who it was by. No, I'm not in Dongguan tonight. I'm in Shenzhen right now. And yeah, I was watching a video. I'm not going to say who the video is by, but the guy is living in China. So I'm just going to say that much. And he had done another video a couple of weeks back about, you know, is it dangerous on the streets of China, comparing it to the U.S. And he sticks in these clips of the U.S. showing like the worst of the U.S. And I mentioned in a walk and talk maybe 2 weeks ago that I find that cringe. And I also found it cringe that this guy's over here kind of loud. I also find it cringe that he went out, must have been 9:30 at night, and then until 11:30, and he called that checking to see if the streets were dangerous. So I mentioned in my video that, you know, he might be too afraid to go out at 3 o'clock or 3:30 in the morning. So the video he made yesterday, he actually stayed out until 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm kind of proud of him. I don't know if he saw my video, not likely, but if he did, maybe I've encouraged him a little bit to do more realistic search for danger. You know, from 9:30 to 11:30, you're not going to find it. And he had gone to a mall. So the video he posted last night was more variation, I think, in the places that he went, and he stayed out till 2 o'clock in the morning. So that's much better if you're looking to see, you know, is it dangerous or not. Okay, I'll back. Like I said, I'm not gonna call him out by name, but I'm just gonna say he's living in China. I think you probably get the hint there. Yeah, I don't know why people find that entertaining. You know, when he's doing this, he shows maybe at the same time the best of China and the worst of the U.S. I just find that so cringe. I don't like that at all. But, you know, in 1 hour he had like 7,000 views. So somebody likes that stuff, I guess, right? I don't care for that. And I don't know. I don't watch all his videos. I've watched, you know, because the one last night was about safety again. I watched it to see if he improved, and he did in fact improve by staying out till 2 in the morning. So I thought that was half decent. But I don't like the whole fake, you know, he feeling his face and feeling his body and saying, "Oh, I haven't been punched in the face and I haven't been stabbed." You know, to me, again, that's cringe. I know he's trying to be funny with that, but yeah, it seems like most of this guy's videos is some kind of a cringe comparison. There's some guy sitting at the table over here. I don't know where he came from. It looks like he came from another restaurant. So there's another actual freedom that you can have here in China that people don't talk about much. You can go to a restaurant, buy some food. You know, let's say you go out with a friend and you don't like the restaurant they're eating at. You go to another restaurant, you get some food, and you bring it to the restaurant they're eating in. I've only, in 13 years here in China, I've only seen one restaurant that wouldn't. Got one guy over there being real loud. I've only seen one restaurant that basically had a sign up saying you can't bring anything in, but generally that's well accepted. You can buy drinks somewhere else, bring in your drinks. You can bring in food to somebody else's restaurant. I don't know if those guys are getting rowdy or just messing around, but no, I didn't get a new mate phone. I don't even know if they're available. I heard they were sold out within minutes of, within the first hour. So I don't know how long it would take them to restock it. I haven't been to the Huawei store in a while. Yeah, the whole, you know, here we are. That whole BBC thing, that wasn't too bad. Some parts of it were kind of funny. And, you know, the Burger King stuff was okay. But, yeah, I don't like it, you know, just finding videos that are the absolute worst of the U.S. and then showing that. So I think this guy came in with a full meal. It looks like for a few people maybe, and from another restaurant. He came in on a 3-wheel bike. had all that food in the back. So I don't know if they brought that in from home. Yeah, Shenzhen got hit really hard this time. We had 2 typhoons in the last week. Last week, typhoon, it was on Friday, I believe. Not last Friday, the Friday before. And it was very strong wind. So that was kind of nasty. Some trees were down and whatnot. But the rain wasn't too bad. Okay, so along comes this other typhoon. It was here this past Thursday. So within a week of each other, there's 2 typhoons. And this second typhoon flooded Shenzhen. A lot of damage. A lot of vehicles, I think, and stuff went underwater. But it wasn't that windy. But, you know, just like Beijing, Shenzhen basically taking it on the chin. And they basically moving on right away. You wouldn't know the difference today. You would hardly know that there was a typhoon. I did see one car today on the back of a one of those flatbed things, picks up cars, and it was covered in mud. The entire car was covered in mud. Saw one of those today, but otherwise, I haven't seen any indication. There is a huge spillway, probably 10 meters deep, about a block from my home, and the spillway was full, 10 meters deep. So that's pretty nasty. I believe it was mostly Nanshan and Lohu, like the worst area that it could be in, the downtown area. There's a lot of stuff underground down there. I'll have to make a trip down. I might make a trip down there today to check on damage. If anybody watched the China show, they were showing some area that there's like a 3 or 4 floor underground mall, and they were saying that that must be filled up. Well, it could have been, but I won't know unless I go and check it myself. So I might head down there today. So yeah, we're sitting in a Futian, yeah, I think Futian got hit as well, and definitely, what's another place? Anyway, yeah, the worst part of it was downtown, and I think Hong Kong as well, and I think the first typhoon, I think actually Taiwan got hit pretty hard as well, with the wind, but Taiwan's an island in the middle of the ocean there, so it, if there's a typhoon there, it's going to be bad. Yeah, Hong Kong did have flooding. But again, Taiwan and Hong Kong, they're both islands. So if it's flooding, it's very temporary. They can get the water off the island, right? But here in the mainland, it's a little more difficult. Yes, Hong Kong got hammered. I think probably about as bad as downtown Shenzhen. It was nasty. So these 2 guys just sat here right in front of my live stream. I don't know if I should go and find another spot. Hold on. Here's some rowdiness over there. And maybe I can get a vantage point that's not right beside a table of really loud people. Like here, got this group over here. Where are they? Those guys. They're the ones making most of the noise. It sounds like something's getting real nasty behind me. So we'll go and take a look and see what's over there. Could be just, playing the dice game. Let me get this camera up a little bit better so you can see. Sounds like it's only a couple tables over here, so. But we'll plunker down here and take a listen. So it's not real busy tonight. But again, Again, it's I don't know what, 3:30 in the morning now. You got somebody at that one table. It's just really loud. Sounds like he's being angry, but I hear some people laughing over there. Yeah, it's 3:30 in the morning here in Shenzhen, where it's 2 days after the typhoon ended. That rain went on for like 2 days, unrelenting. People can't get you a little closer into the action over there. I just noticed when I went to Zoom, all the messages came up. Okay, so I'm learning about this live streaming thing. Let's see. So yeah, when I touched the screen to zoom in, and then there was the list of comments, which I could scroll. I did not know that. There should be, maybe there's a video online to learn about it. That guy's going to have a sore throat tomorrow, I'm guessing. So we only got 2 tables of people here at this barbecue place. But sounds like the one table's had a few drinks. So yeah, I bought myself a lemon tea so that I can try to keep my voice without too much phlegm in it. So one of these lemon tea. Yeah, you'll often see 20, 30 or more beer bottles either on the table or on the floor right beside the table, which is why at the other, where I was just sitting there a few minutes ago, once in a while you would hear a bunch of bottles fall over. It's because they're all on the floor and somebody tips a couple of them over, and then it's like dominoes, right? Yeah, those guys are just playing that dice game. I forget exactly how to play that. I think what they do is they roll the dice. Yes, very loud meals. I think they have the dice in a cup, and then they shake it, and then before they open the cup, they basically, the other person, you're playing against somebody, they have to guess, I guess, if it's higher or lower. So she just lost. She had to take a drink. Which sometimes when I was playing that, I might want to lose on purpose. If I want, if you win too often, then you don't get a drink. I mean, you're going to the bar to drink, right? And they're just small cups. So they take a beer and they pour it into like a Baijiu cup. And you have to down that. They're not Baijiu cups. They're a little bit bigger than a Baijiu cup, but not big cups, as you might have seen when she just took a drink there. But it's a really, really simple game. I haven't remembered how to play it because you can learn it. If you go with anyone and you want to play it, you can just start playing. Really simple game. I think there were 5 dice in the cup. See who won this time. She lost again. Yeah, you could see the size of that cup. It's just a small cup, but it's full of beer generally. I suppose you could do the same game with other alcohol, but generally it's played with beer. There's just one girl, I think, at that table. Yeah, I think just one girl. Seen more tourists lately. Where was I? I saw it. Oh, in Dongguan. In Dongguan, there's this one area where they have they're all very expensive restaurants, but they're all foreign, or not all of them, but the majority of them are foreign restaurants. And just walking the streets there, it was all foreigners. Almost everyone you walked into was a foreigner. The restaurant that I went to was an Italian restaurant, and I wanted to have a panzerotti or calzone. And it wasn't on the menu, but the guy made it anyway. He just wanted to please. The restaurant was phenomenal. The owner was like a really kind of an eccentric guy. He had this really long necklace on with one of those sommelier cups on the end of his chain. I don't know if we're about to get rowdy here. But yeah, I'd say that table's had a few drinks. But as far as tourists, actually I might go downtown later today. Today is Sunday. And I might go downtown to check out the damage. See if some of those big underground malls actually did completely flood. If they did, then all the stores would be closed and, have to remodel or definitely repurchase all of their stock. Trying to wait and see what they're doing there. So another thing that I don't know if there's only like 4 people in here, but something you might not be aware of, that generally when you go out with Chinese people and you're going to have some drinks, you don't just take a drink out of your bottle. It's basically drink at the same time. Generally they wait until, take a drink together. Toast and take a drink. And everybody fills everybody else's cup all the time. So it's more than polite. Wow, she's losing a lot. She is going to be drunk. So yeah, I'll check downtown for tourists later today, likely. I have a half-assed plan to go down there. And somebody asked me recently whether I'm still planning. That's the loudest guy right there. Somebody asked me the other day whether I still have a plan to get into a police car, a fire truck, and an ambulance. And I still definitely plan to I have a scheme thought up to get into a police car without getting arrested, of course. That I think I have a 75% confidence that it will work. And I'm definitely going to give it a shot. But it takes a certain situation. And when I go to Dongguan, it's more likely. So it might have to wait until next time I go to Dongguan. I don't know if that guy knows what he's how he looks. He seems so angry. Yeah, you see there's that guy's pouring the other guy's beer. So generally you don't pour your own, you don't fill your own glass. Someone will do it for you. I mean, it's not like a taboo, but generally that's how it's done. Someone else pours your glass, and then you don't take a drink until you're taking a drink with someone. Now from the West, they'll overlook if I'm sitting down with a bunch of people and I keep winning at the dice game, then I'll have to take a drink on my own. So it took me about an hour to get to where I'm sitting right now. I left at about 2 o'clock in the morning, left my home, and it took about an hour to get to this place, start filming at 3 o'clock. It's now about 3:40. So I got a good sweat on already. So we only got 4 people here, but no, I don't drive an EV. I have a gas vehicle. I should have an EV because if you get an EV, you can get a license plate in Shenzhen. If you drive a gas vehicle, You have to go in a lottery to get a license plate. The temperature currently, I think it's must be 29 degrees Celsius. I have two phones on me right now, but only one has a SIM card, and it's the one that's in the gimbal, so I can't check the exact temperature. There is a slight breeze, so it doesn't feel too bad. But once you start walking, it doesn't take you long to start sweating. Sorry, I don't know 29 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit. So I don't know why that one guy keeps freaking out. He is the entertainment. Like I said earlier, he might have a sore throat tomorrow. Hopefully he doesn't have any speaking engagements tomorrow. 84 Fahrenheit. Thank you, Joe. That's pretty warm. It's warm enough. You know, especially if you get into the tropical areas like Shenzhen. Normally pretty humid. So, I don't know if you're getting tired of that one table there. But, yeah, it's hot enough. Definitely hot enough. I'm still taking sweat rags out with me when I go for these walks, even at 3 in the morning. If you're in the sun, like I don't think I could walk that like for 2 hours. I don't think I could walk 2 hours when the sun's up. But the other thing I really like about this time of the day is generally I don't have to give a crap about the traffic lights. You can walk on the street. I don't know if they think that helps to yell. It's kind of funny, really. They look like they're having good fun. Well, they're acting really excited at times, and it looks like they're just having fun. It's always got to be one really loud guy, right? So maybe I'll hit the pavement, do a little walking. As entertaining as this is, you can only watch so much of the one guy continuously yelling. But yeah, as far as danger, I've never felt in danger at any time in Shenzhen or in China, in all of China, since in the 13 years that I've been here. I was in China before that. You know, maybe 18 years ago, I was in China, and at that point, I was a little worried. I was in a small town, and there were kids begging, and they were running money over to some adults, and it looked really nasty. At one point, somebody picked me up and drove me through really remote areas, and I was kind of concerned. But in the 13 years that I've actually lived here, there hasn't been once that I've felt in danger, in any danger. You know, and I mean, I was just kind of thinking about that on the way over here as I was walking to get here. You know, if you were Chinese in the U.S., walking the streets at 2 o'clock in the morning, especially in areas where there's a lot of drunk people, somebody might take a swing at you just for the hell of it. In China, I've never seen that, never had that experience. Never had anybody come up to me angrily at all. So like I said, maybe I'll hit the pavement now and walk around a little bit, and we'll see what else is going on before I shut this down. Packing my stuff in my pocket. I know, take my lemon juice, my lemon tea, and I'll at least throw it in the garbage, even if I don't drink it, but there's a good chance I'll still drink the rest of it. So at night you see people riding scooters. Neon Market Streets. I'm not sure exactly what that is. But yeah, you can definitely let your wife walk on the streets here this time of night. As a matter of fact, you might see girls on their own here. Here's one of these Didi drivers that I talked about in the last video. Similar to Nathan Road in Hong Kong. Hong Kong's a little sketchy. I've been there 3 times this year, and every time I go to Hong Kong, you'll run into sketchy people. And they're usually foreigners. Definitely Shenzhen is more safe. So let's walk here a little bit. Another Didi driver here. Yeah, you could easily walk through the streets of Beijing as well. Actually, anywhere in China. I feel 100% safe. So here's a couple of these Didi drivers, and they're probably hoping to drive this thing. Oh, interesting retail streets. Yes, there's a ton of interesting retail streets here. Market streets. So let's walk this way. And we'll walk by another couple of areas where people are, they're probably going to party there all night. I mean, it's already going for 4 o'clock in the morning. Somebody's butterfly. Sometimes you can still see these people at 8 o'clock in the morning. Even 9 o'clock in the morning. Again, today is Sunday, so nobody's working in the morning, but there will be 7 days a week, actually, this goes on. And I was just watching a video before I came out. I don't know why so many people at that restaurant and none here. Just watching a video before I came out, and it was Korea, showing that the streets there are basically the same as here, which is kind of cool. I mean, there's no limit, there's no time of the day when you have to shut down the drinking. See, here's a, this is what it typically looks like. Hang on a second. Yeah, street cleaners work 7 days a week here. As you can see, they need to. Those are some big beer bottles. This is what it looks like when somebody leaves their table. Another restaurant. So you're walking the streets of Shenzhen right now. Probably almost 10 minutes to 5, I think. Or 10 minutes to 4. Started the video at 3 a.m. Another restaurant up ahead. Some people. You have to pardon me for stopping when I see a message pop up. I really worry about walking and reading at the same time. I don't think other people do that either. They basically sit down if they're going to answer a bunch of messages. So yeah, we got another table here of people at barbecue. Coming up on 4 o'clock in the morning. One guy's right out of it. Sleeping already. See now, what I mentioned earlier about You know, a Chinese person walking the streets in the US this time of the day might be trouble. Might be trouble for them. Definitely true. But if you put a gimbal, a camera and a gimbal in their hand, you'd have them walking the streets 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. Definitely draw attention to themselves. And somebody might take issue with that, in my opinion. So, coming up on 4 o'clock in the morning, looks like this place is getting ready to pack in. I don't know if he's setting up the tent or taking it down. A couple more tables of people. So these areas, there's different areas where there's tends to be a lot of people drinking until, I wouldn't even say all hours of the night, all hours of the next day. I noticed, you know what, I did watch my previous live stream after I posted it, and I was not impressed with the gimbal. So I don't know if I'm shaking around too much, or it's the way I walk or something, but I was not impressed with how bouncy it was. Twice a week live stream. Oh, thank you very much. It's hard to know if people will be interested. Like I see we got 6 people in here now, but I noticed the last live stream, there was quite a few people watched it after. So, might find that interesting. But there's people, this place is alive 24/7. There's people out on the streets. All ages, all sizes. I have seen a couple of children that probably shouldn't be out this time of the day. I haven't seen a child since I started making the live stream, but on my way here, I did see a couple of children. Now, I don't know how that works. I don't think you've seen any police either. People, yeah, you don't see a lot of helmets going on, unless it's the Didi drivers. There's the delivery guy. Oh, sorry. Walked right into me. Have you visited Songshan or Zhuhai? Oh, really? Okay, 谢谢, 谢谢. Songshan, Zhuhai. Zhongshan, I think yes. I've been to probably half the provinces and all the major cities. Zhuhai. I'm trying to think of where that is. Here's another group here. People out drinking all night. Party time. Party time. Excellent. More people over here. So as you can see, there's no shortage of people. And I think it was 2 live streams ago I talked about these guys. On the side of the river. Oh, yeah. Near Macau. Yeah, I've been there. I went for a job interview, actually in Zhuhai. So yes, I have been there. Stayed in a hotel there. Been to Macau a couple of times. I have to go through Zhuhai to get to Macau. So nobody ever did answer me about the Didi drivers. You know, Didi is like oh, what's it called in the U.S.? You know, that where you call for a car and the car comes to pick you up. We used to have the same name here, but it doesn't have it anymore. It's called Didi here. Yeah, one branch of it actually, they send guys out on bikes, little e-bikes. You give them a call, they show up. Uber, yes, that's it. Lyft, I think Lyft isn't Lyft in Vietnam, places like that. I remember they had I think it was called Lyft. Definitely Uber. It was Uber before in China, but they had a girl killed in an Uber vehicle. I believe that shut it down. Not the same as DoorDash. The Didi drivers, like you get Didi where you just want to get a ride somewhere. That's Didi. Same thing as Uber. Not Uber Eats either. It's just Uber. You know, where you get a car and you can pick different levels of vehicle. But the Didi drivers, they come on their little e-bikes and they drive your car with you and your drunk friends. They drive you home. And I had asked in the previous stream if anybody knows, do they have that in the West? I'm thinking it's too litigious over there to have that kind of service. But the guy comes, folds up his little e-bike, and puts it in a bag, puts it in your trunk, puts on some white gloves. Then he will put a seat cover on your car seat. So yeah, okay, thank you, Joe. I had often wondered about it. I think it's just such an awesome service. I've only used it once. You know, where I went out and I wasn't planning on drinking, but people convinced me, pushed me into drinking, and I don't want to go to jail, so called a Didi driver. They are super careful driving your car. Okay, these are not hardcore partiers. This guy looks like he's ready for a date. So we're coming up on 5 o'clock in the morning. Or sorry, again, 4 o'clock. Coming up on 4 o'clock in the morning. Sunday morning. What is TV like here? There's not a lot of English TV. But, I mean, with my cable service, I get HBO and Cinemax as well. Dirt cheap. But they're playing movies that are like ancient. Sometimes decent movies, but most of them you've already seen. But I mean, it's really, really cheap. Unbelievably cheap. But iQIYI. 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 Get iQIYI. And you can get that basically on your phone. You can get any movie that you can watch on HBO or Cinemax for free. In Shenzhen here, there's not a lot of Western channels. You can watch the Hong Kong channel. These guys don't have a drink on the table. You can see they all have their shirts off, so they're feeling a little warm. Okay, we got some people up ahead. Sound like they're pretty wasted. But yeah, in Shenzhen or China here, you get iQIYI. You can basically watch any movie that you can see on the where you pay monthly for Cinemax or HBO for the cheaper movies, for the reruns, older movies. And if you pay a little extra, you can get the premium movies. There's one of those Uber or Didi guys right there, looking for a customer. Cool service. Okay, so I think in another minute or so, it's going to be 4 o'clock. I've had you guys for an hour. I really appreciate anybody who stopped by, especially that these are random. I just fire the camera up and start yakking. 72 tenants. You can get Western channels. Okay, I'm not exactly sure how. Like I said, I can get the Hong Kong channel, but even it's not English all the time. It does have English programming. TV show. Well, you know, the thing is today with the internet and YouTube and everything else you can choose from, it's you're not for want of any entertainment, that's for sure. And like I said, I think if you're looking for movies on demand, 72 Tenants is a TV show. Never heard of it. Yeah, if you're looking for movies on demand while you're here, I would just download the app for iQIYI, and you'll have all the entertainment you need, and you can pay a little extra. You can get the premium movies if you want, but you get plenty of movies to choose from for free. Version of Coronation Street. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Coronation Street either, so sorry. I don't know exactly what that is. Oh, this looks like a bar here. Not much going on. Or maybe it's a hotel. Yeah, that looks like a hotel. So, had you for about an hour. Really appreciate you stopping by. Maybe you should take a quick look at this bear before I cut off this live stream. It looks kind of cool. Or gaudy, I guess, maybe. It's all sparkly. Is that a bear? I think it's a bear. Okay, I'm gonna head into the abyss over here, it looks like, so I'll cut this off and thank you one more time for stopping in. See you next time.